All right, so we're wrapping up the day with some fun. I like to wind down after we take forever and draw a bunch of cards with Bant getting a little bit smashy. The only thing better than a turn 6 Carnage Tyrant is a turn 4 Carnage Tyrant is a turn 4 Hasty Carnage Tyrant. So let's just settle in and attack for lots of damages, shall we? Big fan of attacking for lots of damages. This is Declan, who is my 3-year-old, his favorite arena deck because it's got the dinosaurs. So let's get a little smashy, shall we? Man, I really hope they have a copy of Ritual sitting in their hand right now. Oh, we are playing against 4-color controls. Sweet. Hey, Caboose Man, welcome to a live one. Catch us right at the tail end here. We're starting our last league of the day, last deck of the day, I guess I should say. Yeah, the Deckmaster servers are down right now. Rude. Did I update Stream Decker? Yeah, Stream Decker's good. You know what's better than Carnage Tyrant? Hasty Carnage Tyrant. You know what's better than Hasty Carnage Tyrant? 2 Hasty Carnage Tyrants. Jay Rooney with the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Employed here. Blub, 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 blub. They have a Moment of Craving here too. Gosh. That's so rude. I just wanted to attack you with the Hasty Carnage Tyrant. I mostly only play decks for my queue, Caboose Man. My deck queue pretty consistently has like 40 plus decks in it, even with playing decks constantly, so. Alright, let's kill Teferi. Do I want to get rid of this compass?
Want me to phase you out of time?
I think I'm gonna try and get rid of the compass. Every day I'm shuffling. Do 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 do. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Do 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 do. I've got some wonderful basic land altars here from Hurly Burly Altars that are protected by my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Hashtag sponsored. Techno, it's probably pretty close to it. We actually cut the sabotages for Ionize the last couple times we played the 4-color list, because sabotage is very difficult to play, very difficult to cast consistently. The 2-for-1 double shill is just A+, Marty. I'm working on it. Hey, Hurly Burly, thanks for the biddies. Well, they can't Arc of Orzaka the Carnage Tyrant. So like I get to Carnage Tyrant them for 7 here, put them to 12, play another one, and then they're gonna be dead on board. Yeah, and you can find a ton of good altars, a ton of these wonderful altars on Tilt. A ton of these at hurlyburlystudio.com. But yeah, there's one without a sleeve on it. There's a little bit of glare. So kind of pretty punished for my sequencing there. There's some links for you. Oh, they clicked through the Spire's activation. Whoopsie poopsie. Whoopsie poopsie. Alright. Eldest Reborn. Duress. Assassin's Trophy. What did we cut? Allosaurus is kind of medium. Brontodon's kind of medium. Cast Down is terrible. And then usually I trim some of my ramp spells in these matchups. This many trophies might be too many. Let's do this. 9 ramp spells is probably good. Let's give this a try. Yeah, Sabotage is just tough to cast. How do you like Allosaurus in this deck? It's usually just a 4-mana 5/5. I think it's fine. You want more dinos to make your Dinos Matters cards hit consistently, and like sometimes it has pretty big upside. But you're right. A lot of the time it's a 4-mana 5/5, and you're just like okay with that. I think this just isn't good enough, right? Just like doesn't do anything for a while. My opponent's just gonna counterspell us out of the game. This hand's actually better, right? There's a turn 3 Ripjaw. Need to lead on the Rootbound Crag here, because I don't have a land that'll bring it into play untapped just yet. Yes, yeah, it's 7-mana Chupacabra is also just like a fine play. Yep. Maybe because of the compasses, I want all 4 trophies. Trophy being able to kill compass is pretty good, pretty important. A whole lot going on our side of the board here, which is a danger that we had, right? Like we mulliganed to a hand that had like a ramp spell and 1 threat, and we haven't found any other threats just yet. Just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Must have Vraska's Contempt here then, right? Not 100% sure if the Banefire, or if the Duresses in this deck are right. It could be right that like Banefire just happens to be a little bit better. Favorite basics? For Arena, I don't really have a favorite basic. For Paper, I usually used Unhinged lands. Are my go-to. Childhood Jeff cracked a lot of Unhinged when he was playing with friends, so I have like a dozen or more of each of the Unhinged basics in a box that I crack out when I play Paper usually. Their hand has infinite cards in it, unfortunately for us. Discarded Nexus of Fate, sure. I'd be pretty surprised if our Ripjaw here can go the distance. Probably gonna hold this swamp in my hand so I have a filler card to discard to something like a I'm gonna tuck my Ripjaw in here.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Reverse.
Reverse, 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 reverse.
I won't let you win.
I think Watsy will do another unhinged. I believe Unstable was widely accepted as a success, so I would expect that to mean that they're gonna come back at some point here. All right, well, now that I'm down to just one trophy, I'm gonna play this land out so I can just trophy something in response if they make me discard. Okay, we're gonna try sitting again here, see if my back will cooperate. Oh, great. Yeah, I agree. You don't want to wear out a good thing, right? Like if you do them all the time, they stop being special. We're pretty dead here. Move along to the next one. They're at 8, but like they have 6 cards in their hand plus the Chemist's Insight. Well, I mean, I think that's not strictly true, Gabriel Paints. Like the reason why the Master sets wore out is because they kept putting crappy cards in them. It's really easy. It was really easy for them to have a good Master set. They just had to like put cards people actually flipping wanted reprinted in the Master set. Instead of like putting a bunch of terrible cards in your set, you just like go put valuable cards in your set and say, don't worry about the limited format. Also, like they printed a bunch of masterpieces that had like awful, terrible borders, right? Like the not the Kaladesh ones, but the Amonkhet masterpieces looked rancid. It's really easy to say like these things failed because there were too many of them, but like when in reality they failed because they built them to fail. They designed them to suck. When they were finally ready to cash in on the master sets, they put all the cards in them and it was great even when they charged more money. Commune with the Dinosaurs, be good. We played Commune with the Dinosaurs in earlier builds of this deck and I really wasn't impressed with it. So if you check out my website and my YouTube channel, you can look for the Jund Dinosaurs playlist, and the first and second time we played this, we had Commune, and it just misses too often. Like, with only like 10 to 14 dinos in your deck, it just like finds a land too often. All right, well, if we get to play a Carnage Tyrant next turn, we should be in a pretty good spot. Like, Drover into Carnage Tyrant is so good. She's like, all right, well, I have 10 power now. Come at me. Do your thing. Yeah, whichever intern designed the Amonkhet masterpieces and whichever management person approved them, I hope they were both let go. When something as ugly as the masterpieces makes it out of R&D, you need to remember that like multiple people approved that decision. That wasn't just something that just happened, right? Like there were multiple people that looked at these things and were like, this looks good, it's okay. All right, what's your hand look like here? Eldest Reborn, Nicol Bolas, no red mana. So this is a pretty easy Eldest Reborn, I think. I guess they're at 7, and I don't really care about the Eldest Reborn. Do I take the Vraska's Contempt? I could take the Vraska's Contempt, and I could pick back up Drover, plus, no, they're just gonna play the Reborn. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Reborn. Take the Reborn. If they hit running red sources here, this star is going to put us in the ground. I like the Drover builds a lot right now. I didn't play my land there because I wanted to encourage my opponent to Vraska's Contempt my Drover the Mighty, because by not playing the land, they think I might be missing a land drop and might not be able to cast this turn. I work night shift now, so it's hard to catch your actual stream. Keep up the good work. Frexy Manitai, thank you for the 12-month resub and the tier 3 at that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Run with the Dinos, bump Eldrazi post if you can. Will do, Yaku. Thanks for the support. All right, so I have this duress. Let's just start with that. Did they draw Ionize? All right, so now I just trophy Teferi in response, right?
Enough.
Because I get to take, no, I get to take the star. My duress is resolving. My duress is taking their Star of Extinction, chat. So like they're duressing me and then I'm duressing them. There's my duress is still resolving. They're copying my thing. They're not just like countering it. When I'm planning to have another Legacy stream, Legacy decks are going to be played in the order of the points that they have alongside Modern. So, they have Disdainful Stroke. Woof. Alright, just gotta get through it, right? Otherwise, they're just gonna play Nicol Bolas and make us discard next turn, so... I mean, the game's not gonna be too long when Nick flips next turn. Yeah, that's just how it goes. How it goes sometimes. Here we go again. Do 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 do.
My power is boundless.
No, I don't have any reach in my deck. So Carney T's probably lights out here. Yep. Just we drew 2 lands, they drew the sweeper. Just how it goes. As always, there's a deck list on your screen. You can also type !deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. Let's pop back on in here, shall we? I mentioned before that I'm not sure if the duress is better than just playing Banefire. I feel like I might have too many cards in my sideboard of this deck for control, and it might be right just like pack in some Banefires and like not worry about the duresses. No, the only way to gain rank in Arena is the best of 1 queue. How long have we been streaming today? We've been playing Arena for 4 hours, not even. Maybe just about 4 hours. We played a bunch of Bant Fog for context, so. No, I think that dragon's just not very good. I think it's worse than the other bombs that we're playing. Yeah, I also don't enjoy playing best of 1, so I don't play any best of 1. The current ranked season is just a preseason. It doesn't really even give meaningful prizes. So if you don't enjoy playing best of 1, just don't play it. You're not obligated to play ranked. It's gonna like start timing people out aggressively that start saying nonsense. Stop spreading FUD. All competitive Magic isn't suddenly best of 1. The pre-season for the current season on Magic Arena is best of 1. Magic Arena is feature incomplete in many ways. It's going to look very, very different once they understand what they want things to look like. All right, well, I didn't get Cleansing Nova, so that's a good start. What's my most requested MTGA feature besides best of 3 ladder? That's a good question. I'm not sure actually offhand. I'm pretty okay getting settled here because I'm gonna have a hasty Carnage Tyrant next turn. So I think walking into a settle there is fine. Yes, that's it. Auto yield on triggers and always yes. Like Magic Online has, would be a feature that I would enjoy.
Hurry!
Hurry! I agree. Not having Banefire in this list is probably a miss. In fact, I'm gonna change it after we get done here. After we get done with this game. So I sent the Carnage Tyrant to Teferi as opposed to either of these because I don't want I want the Teferi to die for sure rather than them being able to interact with it. What on earth was that? Gideon's Reproach. That's an interesting one. They have a scatter? Woof, that's brutal. Or are they playing straight blue-white? That explains the Gideon's whatever. Steal? Counterspell my Rampant Growth, please. I mean, obviously they just wanted to surveil, but it's still like really aggressive. I assume this isn't resolving since they counterspelled our Rampant Growth. I assume they just have multiple counterspells. Yeah, you can find the 4-color control list on my YouTube channel. Not every single deck list I play on stream gets a dedicated page on my website. Adding decks to my website requires like art assets and other things of that nature. Alrighty, well, punish them for being aggressive. Yeah, find Finality and some removal spells are what the black's in the deck for. This is like a base green deck with 2 splashes. There's like a small splash for black cards and a small splash for Regisaurus Alpha. Alright, settle me. I didn't mean actually settle me. I meant think about it, but then don't do it. Both Skullmorn. So the unranked queue traditional play has MMR based matchmaking. So once we had played a bunch of matches, we started getting better quality opponents inside of it. So the opponent quality has been pretty reasonable as we've been playing. Instead of me telling you why you're wrong, instead make decisions and arguments that aren't based on, well, he had settled the wreckage, they had settled the wreckage, so obviously you should not attack. Here's the thing, chat. if you always attack around settle, you're gonna lose some games to attacking too slowly when they don't have settle. If you attack into settle the wreckage, you're gonna lose some games because you attacked into settle the wreckage. My opponent was at 14 and my attack was lethal, and they'd already cast a copy of the card settle the wreckage that game. So by making them have it there, I made it a make or break moment in the game. And you're right, it feels bad that they had it and my stuff died, but like sometimes you need to make them have it. I've won way more games from the control side of the board when my opponents play around settle and don't attack with everything, and like I don't have it, than I've won because they've attacked in and I settled them. I didn't guarantee to have a 2-turn clock. So again, like whenever stuff like that happens and I take a percentage play and like we hit the wrong side of it, people are always like, well, that was wrong. And it's like, well, that's not how percentage plays works. That's why Magic is a game with variance by design in it. Like you can't look at a decision after the fact and go, well, it was wrong because you got blown out. Like that's not how you make good decisions that are educated in the moment. If I play around settle the wreckage there, I give them a chance to draw Cleansing Novas and Tefreeze, and I give them more of a chance to actually draw Settle the Wreckage, whereas if I make them have it sooner when they've already played a copy, I'm more likely for my cards to actually work. One of the things that separates good players from mediocre players is good players can recognize which cards they can afford to beat at any given moment, and then not play around the one they can't beat. If there's a card that you can't beat anyways and you play around it, like you're getting beat. If you're getting beat regardless, why are you playing around it? It's not even about hindsight. It's just about it can be correct to attack into a potential settle wreckage and get got by it and still be correct to attack into it. People that think I'm mad right now, you're not. Those aren't the types of people that are going to feel welcome in a chat like this. I'm not mad. I'm just talking about how you learn and grow as a Magic the Gathering player. It's okay to hit the wrong end of a percentage play. It doesn't mean your play was wrong. It's worth talking about whether or not it was correct, but saying it has to be wrong because you got blown out isn't how you evaluate situations like that in games that have variance by design. That's cute that it still does the animation even though you destroy it. I mean, like, it's okay. I'm not upset. Just, like, the game was over because they had the settle. The game was over that turn one way or the other, right? Either they had the settle and we died, we lost all our board, or they didn't have the settle and we destroyed them. Like, there's nothing on the line here, right? Like, I lose this match, like... we're still here playing Magic together, right? Like I don't win any prizes or lose any prizes. I'm just here to play Magic and learn about the Magic that we're playing. Yeah, looks like a budget blue-white deck we're playing against, which probably makes sense. A lot of the Jeskai decks that have cards, a lot of the Jeskai decks that have, a lot of the control decks that have sufficient cards tend to be Jeskai. All right. Listen. If you're gonna play a ramp deck, sometimes you're gonna flood out and die. That's just how these things work. All right, let's try. I haven't been super happy with the Duressa. Let's try a mess of Banefires in the sideboard. Give that a go. Gunnar Jorgen, thanks for the 3-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. And Jay Codier, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. Well, the Frenzy Dino deck is a lot different than what this deck is doing. Seems okay. Double Fine's a little bit awkward. I'm gonna bottom back because I need another land drop. Yeah, the Dino Frenzy deck I would describe as like an engine deck. It's like almost a combo deck. It just like does something powerful when all of its pieces come together. So I have Woodland Cemetery here. I don't really need double red. I have double black. Doesn't really matter what basic I get here. Extra green's probably useful. Or next primarily green. I mean, I agree that the Frenzy deck is very good. I just think it's a fundamentally different deck. Like, comparing this deck to the Frenzy deck is like saying, you know, you like mono black control. Like, sure, that deck's also good, but it's just like different than what this deck's looking to do. Yeah, like, this deck in particular isn't a good experimental Frenzy deck because it's got so many expensive cards in it. Good games, Codier. The second Settle Records was brutal in the first one. Oh, you know what? I should have gotten a Swamp because then my Dragon Soul Summon would come into play on tap. So when I said the basic didn't matter, I was actually incorrect. So this coming into play untapped could be relevant. If you're new to Magic, there's some charts that people have published previously that indicate every one of the 3 color combinations in Magic has a short name, like Jund, Bant, Esper. All of these naming schematics represent different 3 color combinations. They're Magic jargon. What does high off the ground mean? I don't think I've ever heard anyone refer to it as high off the ground before, but we refer to decks that have lower curves as being low to the ground in Magic usually. No, it comes from older Magic sets. So there are some older Magic sets that reference those terms for the different color combinations. People use the color jargon names like I'm talking about now because it's easier to say Esper than blue-white, than blue-white-black. It's just shorter. Saves some time. Carnage Siren's so good against blue-red. Looks like we're playing against Drakes or Phoenix or something like that. I'm gonna bring in Scavengers and Trophies and Eldest Reborns to cut these Fine Finalities, get to cut these Thrashing Brontodons. And maybe I don't want the Reborns in this matchup. That's probably the case. Territorial Allosaurus probably a little bit slow. I don't know that they're necessarily playing Phoenix, but this does get rid of their Jumpstart cards as well, which is nice. Yeah, every 3 color combination in Magic has a name. There's a chart somewhere that lists all of them if you go digging a little bit. It's been posted to Reddit a few times. So some people refer to the 4 color combinations. There are these cards called Nephilims that were from the very first Rav set were the Nephilims, right? So some people refer to like Your Tiller and stuff like that, but those aren't really commonly used because I play a ton of Magic and I don't know what all the name of the Nephilims are. There's like Your Tiller, Ink Treader, and a couple of others that are 4 color combinations. I don't know what all of them are. Nice, Purdy. Yeah, the Bant Fog deck is a good best of 1 deck, I think. Basically, me and a friend, most of them, I was wondering what I should put to make it the best Drake killer I can. I don't want to win, I just want to beat my friend. You should play 4 Sealaways in the sideboard. Should play 4 Sealaways in the sideboard. That's your best white card against Drakes for sure. One of the things that makes this 3 color deck really work right now, even though we don't have all the shock lands, is the fact that Thunderherd Migration can get our extra colors like this. It's very useful. They're playing Sarkin. Interesting.
You will feel the lick of my flames, madness. What madness?
But a splash of black in Drake's makes sense. So the problem is you lose a lot of consistency when you do that a lot of the time. Add extra colors. A lot of these Drake's decks play like one Drowned Catacomb and like one Dragon Skull Summit to be able to play black cards. To be able to, sorry, not black cards, to be able to play the dispersal part of Discovery, but it's not super common. Is there anything you would swap the Carnage Tyrants for in the Fog deck? You'd want it to be some other threat if you had to cut the Carnage Tyrants for some reason. I think I have Regisaurus Alpha here so I can kill the Sarkin.
A bold strike.
We played a couple of Grixis decks recently that seemed pretty sweet. You can find them on my YouTube channel, and if you don't have time to watch the entire video when I stream something, I always do a wrap-up segment at the end where I talk about things I liked about the deck, things I didn't like, whether or not I felt it had potential, whether or not it just felt clunky, etc. Alright, so I think I just jammed Vivian here. I feel real bad when we get Spell Pierced, though. Verdant Eidolon is a creature that you can get with Summoner's Pact that comes back to your hand again and again and again. And here's the problem with the dive down is now I can't attack. The upside if they don't have the dive down is that I get to attack with my 3/3. So basically I'm like risking not attacking this turn to get the upside of attacking with my 3/3 this turn, which might be wrong. I might be incorrect. A big hit. So I'm just dead if they have another removal spell, right? Or if they have another protection spell. Sweet. All right. What's going on, Volpert? Thanks for being here. Hope you recover well.
Today's forecast is cloudy. Time to choose. Always so exciting.
It always gets me when people ask questions and then like I respond directly to their question and they just like weren't paying attention. Take a timeout.
Nothing feels broken.
Like I didn't have lethal there anyways, so I might as well kill the Ral's Eric.
The wilds are my shield.
Oh, I guess Regisaur would have been lethal there, huh? Yeah, you're right, and I hit it. I probably should have Vivian for Regisaur. I agree with your assessment. I just kind of tunnel visioned on killing the Ral and then just did that. Yeah, the people in chat that are commenting I could have gotten this off Vivian, so I could have pushed lethal last turn are correct. Man, remember that time I messed up?
Strike me.
Remember that time I messed up?
Nature.
Woof. That's fine. We're still ahead here, right? This is so weird. I'm not used to getting punished for my mistakes on this stream. Where am I? Where am I? I don't understand. So there was a comment a hot second ago that they're pretty confident I never want 4 copies of Trophy against Control, and I think that's true. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and swap this Trophy in the sideboard for the 3rd cast down. I think that seems like a reasonable exchange. I didn't sub for... I'm so confused. This isn't the Huglandia I grew up in. What's going on? Jeff made a mistake and lost because of it. Oh no, it's so cold. It's so cold. Can I keep this on the draw? I'm gonna keep this on the draw. If we draw a green source on one, the hand's absurd. It's a decent pickup too. Just any land is good. I appreciate that, Caboose Man. So I'm gonna Thunder Herd this turn because the elf could die to a burn spell. Do this now. I wonder if it could be right to play the Brontodon there. Probably not. Playing Brontodon goes pretty sideways if they have a removal spell for it. They like it to generate more goblins to beat me down. Yes, and a 6-mana dinosaur is exactly what this deck needs more of. That right there is a great example of like why Cast Down is great, right? Like the Tetsmock is not going to be useful for a very long time. Do they have a removal spell? Excellent binding on Brontodon. Could be worse for us. I only have one more of those. Alright, I'd like to draw an untapped land here so I can jam this. Perfect. This is my 5/5. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Angry Lizard Noises deck. Yeah, no land go. The Magic community, Magic space on Twitch especially, is got much bigger with Twitch, or with Arena. So hitting a land this turn would even be good, because it lets us Carnage Tyrant next turn. Good stuff. I'm actually just gonna pay the extra 1 here, and not let them know that I have a Carnage Tyrant. If they play more stuff out here, I could just Finality and clear the board. Otherwise, we'll put my large blocker into play next turn. Ooh, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Can't, am I dead? I think I'm dead. So, like, next turn I can block and I take... So we're not just dead, but we're pretty close. Yeah, Dinosaur Island's a pretty good one. We played that one once or twice. Christy kickstarted it. Although it'd probably be shorter to list the games that Christy hasn't kickstarted, because she's kickstarted a lot of board games. Yeah, we're dead in 2 to the Angel. Did the Lightning Strike this turn. Did the Shock this turn with this attack. Dead. Oh. Alright, we're standing back up. Don't get old, chat. Don't get old, and make sure you take care of your back. I really wish I knew what I did to my back. Yeah. My icy hot from this morning is thoroughly worn off. You like how we cut an Assassin's Trophy and then immediately play against the deck with Flying Angels that are legendary? This is probably a Tyrant out matchup. Probably a Tyrant out matchup. Territorial out too, probably. It's a little bit slow. Do this. Let's give this a try. That probably means you have some kind of add-on in your normal browser that's blocking my site from loading Dutcherling. Incognito mode generally doesn't load browser extensions for you. I don't think the Scavenger is very good. It doesn't have a meaningful body, and it's not going to have a consistent source of creatures in the graveyard to, like, eat up. Instead of asking me, telling you why your card suggestions are bad, you should tell me why your card suggestions are good. If you're not sure how to describe why your card might be good, I'd encourage you to look at the stream rules because I give very detailed examples on how to suggest cards in a constructive manner. This hand's really good. Just like Elf, tap land, turn 3 Vivian. Or turn 3 Regisaurus Alpha. That's pretty good. Yeah, I've done the chiropractor before, although I need to find a new one. I'm really kind of sour with the chiropractor I went to. I was having some back problems. This was probably like 2.5, 3 years ago at this point. I was having some back problems, and like my normal doctor recommended a chiropractor, and neither my normal doctor or the chiropractor asked me what kind of chair I was sitting in, and I was using this really terrible desk chair at the time, and like after 2 weeks at the chiropractor, 3 weeks, like no difference, and then like I changed my computer chair and like got the standing desk and just instant change almost, and I was just like, oh. And like the fact that neither of those professionals thought to ask me that question, I was like, y'all suck. Bant Fog went really well. We've kind of been getting beat up with Dinos so far. We got another half hour, 45 minutes left. I think Harpooner's a little bit narrow. I think I would max out on Assassin's Trophy if I was really worried about their Angels chat. But I have 3 Vivians as well. Yeah, this is going to be the last deck of the day. Normally, I'm probably going to go a little bit longer than this, but with my back twinging, this is about all I got in me. Want to go lay down for a little bit, I think.
Wild meat, my newest.
I'll be back tomorrow, of course, about 9 a.m. I've liked the Jund build better than the Naya deck overall. We already played the Spicy Tuna deck for today, so decks that are not currently listed in the stream title but are in the deck queue are decks that we've already played, and you'll be able to find them on my YouTube channel later. See, like this game, it's looking like we're kind of going to run away with it, right? And let's get this Regisaurus Alpha down here before they get this Tecatli out. The Tecatli Bugler Direfleet Daredevil deck, just good clean deck building from the opponent. I actually haven't tried an exercise ball, but I do have one. Need to do that at some point. God bless you, Assassin's Trophy.
No No one knows the wilds like I do.
Yeah, I definitely think like maybe their deck is so bad against green black that like it's worth playing Tecatli even though it shuts off other parts of their deck. But like boarding in Tecatli against us seems like it's probably a miss from the opponent because like it doesn't shut off enough against us to really be worthwhile. Like what it's shutting down out of them is not comparable to like what it's shutting down out of us. All roads lead to Rome here. All of our paths are gonna end up with us winning. I don't know why they would show me citywide bust there. I feel like if you're gonna be dead on board anyways, you shouldn't show me that this is a card I should think about playing around. It's pretty loose on the opponent's part. Don't, if you're gonna be dead anyways, don't show your opponent information that they're not necessarily gonna know about. Especially if you've got a couple of cards like that that are a little bit outside the box. Don't get me wrong, I think Citywide Bust is great. I just think they shouldn't show it to me in that situation. Because, like, that wouldn't have been a card that was going to be on my radar. But now it's definitely going to be on my radar while we play Game 3. I mean, it's okay to not concede, like, make me attack them, but, like, just don't cast the Citywide Bus. Would I play which card, Alborder? Are you talking about Citywide Bus? You want to play it in any deck that's full of small creatures that cares about killing big creatures? This hand is a turn 4 Carnage Tyrant. Sign me up. Maybe their daily quest is casting white spells? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. How am I supposed to turn 4 Carnage Tyrant opponent if you kill my things? Don't kill my ramp creature. I don't have another green source. God bless us, everyone. Yep, so I'd like to draw a green source here so that way I can play Brontodon plus Trophy next turn. I'm gonna start by attacking with this and see where we go. Either take 4 or they let me draw a card. I think I just want to trophy this Aurelia. the Aurelia. Piece of candy. Doherty, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Nah, I'm just gonna put another idiot into play. Let's just do this. And then next turn I could, like, trophy the Aurelia and smack them for 11. That seems fine. This is the last deck of the day, Jack. Yep. This is pretty aggressive out of them. I'm pretty sure I trophy the Aurelia here, because I think I have better payoffs than they do. Yeah, but I can Bronson on the binding if I really want to get my thing back from under there at some point. Johnny, sure.
No
friend of mine fights alone.
Let's get that out of there. We have a Ripjaw Raptor under the binding. Yeah, unfortunately, the tracker is down today.
Be strong.
Down to one card in hand here. I'm gonna attack before I play the Carnage Tyrant. Citywide bust would be really good here. For them, not for me. That is a phenomenal hit. You can watch the most recent set of games that I played with Crixus Midrange to see how I prefer the deck to be built. Watch it on my YouTube channel, jeffoglin.com. You can skip to the end for the wrap-up segment.
See in yourself what I see in you.
If they attack with the Bugler, are they dead? Yes, they are. The Dire Fleet. They can't attack with the Dire Fleet because they just die, I believe, right? No, that's not true. They get to go block, and then block this here, and then they take 4, 8. Yeah, I think they're actually dead if they attack. All right, so sorry, the Dire Fleet Daredevil. Talking about this one. I might have said Bugler. I was talking about this one. I think I just kill this and smash, right? Just like smash with these three. Because if they want to eat this and chump here, they go to 1. Actually, so if I... Yeah, are they dead? I think they're dead, right? For the same reason I said they couldn't attack. So if I do this, what are the different ways they can block here? They can block this, but then they lose both their creatures. If they eat here and block here, if they bounce here, chump here, they take. I believe they're dead. Yeah, they have to chump with the Aurelia. They have to die. They're dead or they chump with the Aurelia. Either of which is good for me. Yeah, they're not dead on board, but they're in an unwinnable game spot. Yeah, they're in an unwinnable position. This also deals 8 to them. So they're going through the permutations that I just did. And they come to the conclusion they'd like to concede. Fair. So they could have not died in that attack, but they were gonna be far enough behind that they weren't coming back into the game. Yeah, but I still have a Carnage Tyrant at that point, so they're not beating the Carnage Tyrant. Bruce Rosso. All right, this would be my last match of the afternoon. Thanks for bringing out. I really appreciate it. Remember, I'm live Monday through Friday now. I'm doing Arena every afternoon into the evening like this. I start Arena about 11:30, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I play for 4, 5, 6 hours. I'm getting a little bit early today because my back's a little bit sore. But normally I'll be going till about 5 o'clock or so. It's about an hour from now. To play first. This hand is reasonable. Needs a red source, but pretty reasonable otherwise. Happy New Year. Any hopes for Stoneforge or Splinter Twin joining us in 2019? No, actually, CM Fusion. I think Modern is what it is, and it's just never going to change. When are my late night streams? I don't have any consistent late night streams anymore. So I did some evening streams over the weekend, but I don't have any consistent late night streams on my schedule. Yeah, they're kind of just whenever. There probably won't be evening streams during the week anymore. I might run late, like Fridays. I usually have good numbers. I would run late today if my back wasn't trying to kill me. So normally when I have 2,000 plus people, I like to run long because y'all are awesome. So I like to sit here with all y'all awesome people, but I need to lay down for a bit. The icy hot is worn off that I put on this morning before I signed on. I am currently standing. In fact, if I didn't have a standing desk, I wouldn't have worked today at all. I've just, you know, been standing for like 5 of the last 7 hours, so. All right, so we look like green-black. Opponent currently thinks they're playing a mirror. I do have an anti-fatigue squishy mat. 10 out of 10 recommend those. They're great. Might get bit by our mana for the first time in a long time. It's not my lower back, really. It's like in the mid side on my left near my shoulder blade. So they left this stupid Wild Growth Walker on top of their deck, which implies they have more Explorer creature with it. So I think I need to hold this cast down, actually. Because Wild Growth Walker can make it very hard to race them. Well, thanks for watching, Jimmy. I appreciate the compliment. I think sideboarding, I agree, it's one of the harder things in Magic. It's also one of the more interesting things. And I play Magic to solve puzzles, so, like, I want the best puzzles. So I think the best puzzles in Magic involve sideboards on average. Yeah, I'm like moderately fit. I'm not like underweight, but I'm like 205 pounds, 6 foot. I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I don't eat as healthy as I could, but you know, I do what I can. How do you stop yourself from overboarding? The best way to prepare yourself for sideboarding is you can practice sideboarding without actually playing games of Magic. You should be figuring out what you want to be sideboarding in before you actually start playing. Maybe this is a bad attack. They're just gonna like no blocks, and then I'm gonna take 7 on the backswing. Yeah, that was a bad attack. I was hoping they'd block so I could hit a land to do something, but they're just gonna no blocks and then kill me on the backswing. So you want to build a bad deck and then have it sideboard into a playable deck? Why not just start with the good deck from the beginning, Caboose? This hitting them for 4 and taking 7 on the backswing here was real bad. Reggie's over Tyrants. They currently just think we're a weird build of green-black. All right, there's some beep beep. We got some get up and go here, if you would. How aggressive do I want to get? Probably moderately aggressive. Nah, just a little aggressive. Surprise! Surprise, dinosaurs! Okay, I'm okay with this. With my colors getting unlocked here, this feels good for me. So if they attack with both their Jade Light Rangers here, I'm going to eat this one. I think I just trade here. I think my hand is good enough at this point that I want to just be conservative. That's vomit-inducing. Alright, so being aggressive is no longer on the table. Let's just do this. So that Wild Growth Walker is going to be a 4/7 here momentarily. Everybody who's asking why we're not being aggressive, you can't be aggressive when they're about to gain 12 life. That's not how being aggressive works. You lose that game every time. You're just never going to keep up. Honestly, I'm not really sure we have the tools in our deck to beat these walkers. Like, I already played a cast down, right? Yeah, so like I only have one more cast down in my deck. And like they're at 30 at this point. Probably just done here. Do you have any advice from like MTJ and when interested in getting into Paper Standard? Yeah, just find a deck you like and then buy it. Once you have a deck, you can just jam that deck. Constructed's got a lot of replayability. Yeah, Wild Growth Walker is very, very good. Yeah, and I think the fact that they have the Vivian going and I don't means I should just be done here. It's been a whole year. Now it's my time to spite the Twitch users. Faraday, thank you for the 12-month resub. I appreciate that. Have a sword. Please do your best to protect us from Twitch chat. Galta doesn't even win the game there. Galta does nothing useful. It doesn't help us in the slightest. Thanks for the biddies, Burnix. We have three. This actually isn't a viewer's. This was originally a viewer submitted list, and then we've worked on and tuned to this. One of the many decks you can find on my website that I have some personal preferences tuned for. And the reason why you only play a small amount of removal in the main is because you're generally speaking a proactive deck, not a control deck. So you don't want to sit there and just be like trading resources against other things that are going to be more controlling than you. Need 2 more cuts here. Just a couple ramp spells is probably a fine trim. I am playing Big Dumb Dinos and he's the biggest and the dumbest, right? Go up to 6 removal spells post board. I don't know that Death Gorge is good enough. Its body gets outclassed on the ground very quickly and often can't attack in. So I'm not sure that makes it a very good choice. This is a turn 3 Regisaurus Alpha on the play, so let's do it. We also did really stumble last game too. Remember, we missed our 4th land and we were missing red mana for a while. So I think the opponent's deck's definitely favored in this matchup when both of us are going long. But when both decks are like executing their primary game plan, I think we're ahead. If we can not fumble. For people that are new to the stream, please keep in mind, I'd recommend you read the stream rules. If you want to recommend a card that we're going to play, don't expect me to tell you your idea is bad. Instead, you should tell me why your idea is good. I know I say that often, so my regulars hear that all the time. I had someone leave in my sub feedback. They're like, you have to repeat yourself too often, and unfortunately, that's just part of this job. Streaming on Twitch is a lot like being a parent. You have to speak very slowly and repeat yourself frequently often. All right, well, if they have the Jade Light Ranger here, we're probably going to get buried by this Wild Growth Walker. We just, like, have a 5-drop on turn 3 and just get dumpstered by Walker into Jade Light. None of our removal spells came through this game, unfortunately. Branchwood Armor's not really a constructed playable card. Its effect just isn't worthwhile. If your Carnage Tyrant's not big enough by default, it's probably not about to get better by making it a small amount bigger. So we're not just dead here, like in the last game, because we do have 6 removal spells in our deck we're drawing 2 instead of just 1. Last game when I conceded to the double walker, we only had 1 removal spell left. Let me go ahead and attack with these 2. I don't really want to trade this for one of these, but I'm okay trading either of these for one of these. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known. Should have known. Should have known again. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Am I casting Finality here? I think I'm just supposed to Finality here, right? Just like can't beat this Wild Growth Walker otherwise. We might be able to pressure them out of this game here. Another Walker on top of their deck. So like next turn, they get to go Walker into Branch Walker, and then I'm hoping to draw an untapped land to Finality and clear their board again here. I'd say that attack's aggressive. Ding. The final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do. All right. Stomp, stomp. Grrr. Down to 4. So Raptor lets them live for a turn. Contempt does not let them live. Wild Growth Walker into another Jade Light Ranger lets them live. Splitting up the counters is nice because now they're incentivized to kill the Ripjaw Raptor, which leaves Regisaurus Alpha to give things haste. What do you think of the creatureless version of Jeskai control? I think there's so many good creature finishers in the standard format that you should put finishers in your control deck. Yeah, Chupacabra gives them a redraw. I think lets them kill plus jump and then like play a Carnage Tyrant or something. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. All right, this is gonna be my last game of the day. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Mega Supa, I really appreciate that too. Big shout out to like Mega Supa and all my other subs and resubs today. Thanks for keeping me around, folks. Well, happy new year to everyone. Remember, if you enjoy my content and you want to see more of it after I'm done being live today, you can head on over to my website and my YouTube channel. Find hours and days worth of content up there. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to play a couple of Modern Leagues tomorrow morning to start the day most likely, and then we'll roll right on into Magic Arena guaranteed afterwards. Yeah, the 4-color control deck's a lot of fun. Moon Traveler with the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Denaria, thanks for picking me to grab your Twitch Prime for the 11th month in a row. Stream Decker is working. It's the Deckmaster extension that's down. So you can find the current deck list here. So I don't have a black mana source, but Drover the Mighty makes mana of any color. So that could potentially do some fixing for us here. Guess I've liked the Wild Growth Walker start 3 games in a row. Hey, Townie, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate the third of a year. Welcome back. What standard deck would I register for a tournament? I'm a big fan of white splash red aggro. It's a deck that I played. I wrote a primer on it on Cool Stuff Inc. last week, so you can find a full primer with my preferred deck list along with a sideboard guide for it for tournament play. So do I play a Ripjaw Raptor? So what's more important, being mana efficient this turn or casting the cast down to deny them the Jade Light Ranger? I think I'd rather be mana efficient. This also makes it so my opponent can't attack me this turn because the Wild Growth Walker is only going to be a 4 whatever. Yeah, it feels a little bit bad. Rip the jaw. So I get to kill this, but then I'm taking 6 inside of combat here. Things are not looking good for our hero. Two, 1, 3 mana divination with a 2/1 seems good. Wow, that walker was about to go crazy. All right, well, if I draw a land next turn, I can clear the board. Untapped land, sorry. Untapped land. I think I'm supposed to clear the board here, right? Otherwise, I'm dead. Yeah, I have to. I mean, I'm still not in the clear here. Like, they have a Memorial to Folly, and they have 2 cards I don't know after their draw step. Yeah, you can find a mono red Steamkin deck on my website. It's !add command. Well, this bodes really well for me. Hopefully we draw another land here. Perfect. Which new mechanic? I'm gonna be boring and say I actually really like the Simic mechanic. Okay, well, I think I just go ahead and use Vines here and pick back up Drover plus Ripjaw. It's like, this is a 3/3, and then I guarantee get to cast this next turn. They're down to just Jade Light land in hand, so we're actually ahead at the moment, which is pretty sweet. Wow, they left Squire on top of their deck, really? Beep, beep. I'm okay trading the Drover here because I can play the Ripjaw next turn. I'm probably gonna hit another land for this Carnage Tyrant. Famous last words. Those might be famous last words. Yeah, I'm gonna offer to trade a 3/3 for a 2/3 here. I want to just like keep pressuring, right? Well, I'm really impressed that we came back into this game. We unstumbled at like exactly the right moment, and then they flooded a little bit. Good clean back and forth. Had a good start with Wild Growth Walker. We're able to interact a little bit here. Carney T should lock things up for us. It's also nice that Ripjaw Raptor doesn't die to either of their sweet birds. Is that a Ritual of Soot or Finality? Who's the weasel? Alright, that's going to be it for me for today, folks. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better tomorrow. I'm going to have these latency issues. I'm going to switch my settings back around to 30 FPS so the frame rate runs a little bit smoother. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Remember, I'm going to publish a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel here momentarily, and then I'll be back tomorrow with more Arena about 11:30. I'll be back with some Magic Online tomorrow morning about 9 a.m. So thanks for watching, and catch all of y'all around later. Have a good one.